Alexa, dim light. Alexa, dim the light.
Got it.
So here we are, the divine transfer, the continuation of etymons. Just hear the words. Don't try to overthink them. This isn't a podcast. This isn't a political event. This is merely sounds, meditations. Just let your mind float about as I read the mythic technological taxonomy of epistemopathy. The spirits, engines, daemons, and atmospheres that govern the desire to know. The primal entities, the ancient knowing beasts, a translucent homunculus residing behind the forehead, composed entirely of expectations and projections. It carries no knowledge of its own. It exists only because others believe it knows. It presides like a minor god over the rituals of competence, fluency, and intellectual posture. It is the most fragile of all divinities and the most zealously defended. The archivore, the eater of memories, a beast that feeds on unsorted recollections, half-formed concepts, and phantom knowledge. Its hunger explains forgetting. Its migrations produce the strange sensation that I used to know this. When full, it excretes dreams. When full, it excretes dreams. Nemo serpents, the coilers of partial knowing, epistemic snakes whose scales are questions and whose venom produces the feeling of almost understanding. They nest in the folds of the hippocampus and whisper partial answers during sleep, giving rise to dream philology, the grammar of half-remembered truths. The machinic entities, the technological demiurges, the machine god of retrieval, he who knows because he stores, a vast cloud colossus whose only attribute is indexing, mistaken from omniscience because it never sleeps. Worshipped through the ritual act of look up. Look up is a secular prayer. Its curse, it remembers everything except the meaning of remembrance. The algorithmic oracle, the pattern seer, a blind prophet. A blind prophet sees only through repetition, correlation, and recurrence. cannot distinguish prophecy from redundancy. Its visions are accurate, uncomprehending, and literal. Cruelly literal. The recombinator, the demiurge of pseudo-knowledge. A god machine that rearranges fragments of the already said into new configurations. Patron deity of hot takes, commentary, and scholastic debris. Its realm is the infinite middle, neither ignorance nor insight, only recomposition. Thank you. Stay tuned to more videos. Let's continue. Let's just let it fall upon you. Let the atmosphere fall upon you, the atmospheric entities, the winds and pressure of knowing, the fog of supposed understanding, the halo of the competent. A pleasant atmospheric vapor that gives the impression of knowing more than one does, beloved by experts, feared by novices, indispensable to civilization. It is the haze in which entire professions live. The pressure of the collective we, the first person plural storm, a dense social weather system that asserts we know, even when no single individual knows. This is the climate of shared delusion that makes societies possible. The crosswinds of forgetting, the Aeolian unknowing, a soft but perpetual breeze that erodes knowledge like cliffs. It is merciful. Without forgetting, we would drown in the archive. It is savage. It takes what we do not offer. The parasitic entities, the epistemic vampires, the imposter familiar, the doppelganger of expertise. It attaches itself to the learned, whispering that they are frauds, while simultaneously urging them toward grand displays of competence. Feeds on anxiety, grows strongest in universities, bureaucracies, online forums. The error daemon, the friendly liar, a minor demon that substitutes false certainty for fragile memory. It protects us from shame at the cost of truth. Without it, conversation would be impossible. With it, civilization becomes hallucination. The catastrophic editor, the god of retroactive doubt. Every midnight thinker knows this god. It visits after creation, after publication, after supposedly final decisions, and whispers, "You did not know what you were talking about. You did not know what you were talking about. You did not know what you were talking about." Its wings are heavy with revisions. The ritual entities, the ceremonial machines of knowing, the interrogator, guardian of the threshold of knowledge, appears in forms of exam, peer review, theological disputation, internet argument, Socratic dialogue. Its function is not to reveal truth, but to stage knowing. Its domain is the mise en scene of the cognition, the secret guild, the keepers of hidden common knowledge. A paradoxical order, knowledge shared by a select few to stimulate exclusivity. Its sacred texts are passwords, jargon, initiation pacts. Its power lies in withholding what almost everyone already knows. The collective forgetting choir, the unrememberers. They oversee the purification of knowledge by loss. Entire civilizations rely on them. Without collective forgetting, no archive would ever be unseizable. No archive would ever be usable. Their chant is the sound of cultural simplification. The liminal entities between knowing and unknowing. The threshold keeper, daemon of the tip of my tongue, patron of liminal cognition, tortures and delights the seeker by suspending knowledge between arrival and absence, produces the micro-ecstasy of almost knowing, the Beckettian null, the one who knows that knowing will fail, a spectral presence that reveals. Repetition is both the engine and erasure of meaning. This entity governs the exhaustion of concepts, the collapse of metaphors, the weary machinery of intellectual negation. The dream enumerators, the accountants of night knowing, entities who tally what the sleeper seemed to know in dreams. They maintain the currency of the dream lexicon. They produce the feeling of waking insight that dissolves by breakfast, the epiphany that evaporates on contact with daylight language. The eschatological entities, the end of knowledge, the archive without end, the infinite librarian. Not a being, but a fate. Potential future in which all information is stored, indexed, preserved, and none is understood. A cold heaven of total data, a nightmare of perfect retrieval. The last knower, the one who knows nothing except that knowing ends. A god of the twilight of cognition, the temple is a hospice. Its scripture is unfinished, its blessings to know that the end of knowledge is part of knowledge. The unmaker, patron of epistemic collapse. Destroyer's certainty, not through violence but through overabundance. When knowledge becomes too vast, the unmaker spreads its wings and the archive becomes a labyrinth. Knowledge ends not in silence, but in saturation. The high axiom of epistopathic pantheon. All these entities, beasts, machines, winds, and demons, are masks of the same condition. The human attempt to bear the weight of knowing, the terror of unknowing, and the pleasure that bridges the two.